Hi everyone, my name is Bukola Dedeji. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so you can get notified whenever I drop a video. And if this is something that interests you, please watch till the end and see if you can learn one or two things, and also share with friends and family and your social media, please. So if this is something that interests you, just stay with me and let us do this together. Let's get to it. Hi guys, so this is a 6 yard fabric. So what I've done is, because I want it to be loose and long, I am folding it this way. So what I've done is I've let out of the whole 6 yards long. So what I've done is, this is the extras on the floor. It's a whole 6 yards fabric. So what I did was I let loose of it and then folded into two. So this is the length, okay? So I have then folded it into two this way. So that way I can work with however long I want it to be. Okay, so make sure that it's actually the same at the edge. So I just want to make sure that it's all straight. So this is my fabric right here, and now I want to work with the length 59. Okay, so I need to measure length 59. I'll be using inches. That's another thing. So 59 inches. Well, I'm used to inches so much that I don't even know what it is in centimeters. So let's work this out. So 59 will be 150 centimeters. So you measure 150 centimeters from the very edge of the fabric and then measure 59. Okay. So I've got my 59 right here. I'm going to mark it and then add 2 inches allowance at the bottom. Reason being that you're going to fold the bottom edge and then you are going to join the shoulders as well. So you need your allowances to work with. So with mine, I'll be using 2 inches more. So that gives me 61 in total. So let me just double check that again just to make sure I've got the right length. So it's 59 plus 2 inches. So I've got that in total. Okay. To make sure it's straight on the edge. Okay, so I have cut out the extras that I had left. Now this is 61 inches. This is the length plus my sewing allowance. So remember, it's a loose jacket. So now I want to work with all of this. So this excess is going to represent the sleeves, everything else. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to measure how much where to start stitching from, because then the extra, by the time I cut out the body, is going to represent my sleeves, and then the rest is going to be the body. So usually from your shoulder right here to however do you want it. So I want it loose because I'll be wearing it more with like my turtleneck top or my turtleneck dress or whatever. I'll be wearing something underneath, and I don't want it to actually interfere with each other. So I want to make sure that the armhole is quite, drops down a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is from my shoulder to wherever I want it to start from, I want it to start from 9. So I think 9 works for me. So from here, from the beginning of the fabric again, you measure from here to here. So I measure 9. I'm going to do 10 plus sewing allowance. So I'm going to use 1/2 inch at the top and 1/2 inch at the back. So let's use 10. Depending on how big you are. So because I'm quite petite and this is for me, that's why I'm using 9. If you're a bigger person, maybe you're a size 12, 14, you might use 11. You want it looser if you're petite, if you're a big person. But if you're petite, or you're like size 8 and 10, I am size 8 and 10, you can use 9 or 10. If you're a big person and you want it looser, or even if you're bigger, or even if you're smaller, you can have it loose, as you can be flexible with it because it is your design. Don't forget that. I've seen a lot of these latest boo-boos that you make now that you would have it so big from here, and then it's amazing. So you can have your sleeves as big as that. So be creative. If you want to go crazy and be creative, please do. So all right, so I'm using 10 right now. I've measured my 10. So now the bodies. So I'm gonna measure my full part of my body. My full part of my body is my hip and is 40. My bust measurement is 36. But like I said, it's gonna be a loose jacket. So I'm not going to do any, I don't want to make it tight. You understand what I mean? But it's good when you know your body measurement, so that when you want to cut and join all of these things, you don't cut too much. You make sure that you have enough allowance. You make sure that it's free as well on your body. So my bust is 36. So what I have here is 11. I can do 11 or 12. Like I said, I want it loose. I want to do 13 unfold all the way. So 13 times 4. So that would be sorry, I'm not good with math. So 13 plus 13, that's 26. 26 plus 26, that's 52. So I'm going to use 52 in total because I want it very loose. I just want it loose all the way. So this is my 13 right here. So remember, I've measured my 10 from here to here is 10. And the rest of this now, I am just going to take down. So this is my 13. Do you want it? Another thing you can do is you can have it this way. You can flay it out more as well if you want. But like I said, this is my jacket. So I want to make sure that it's straight. I don't want it to just come out that way. So I'm going to do 13 all the way down. Also, another way to straighten your hand when you're sewing, I know it can be tricky, but make sure that your lines, when you start marking your lines, they are not far from each other so that you can connect them easily. When you, like now, look at me doing this. So I'm measuring my 13 all the way down, and I'm making sure that they are next to each other. So as I'm marking it, I'm straightening my hand with it. As I'm going down, I'm straightening my hand with it. So I go that way. So I measure 13 all the way down. Like I said, I am petite, so I'm not a big person, so it wouldn't have to be extremely loose. However, if you want it to be loose, you can have it either way, basically. If I have a customer that wants a jacket and they want it loose, I would make them a loose jacket, however you prefer. So I'm just going to cut all of this, and now I've got it to the end, so I'm going to cut it out now. Yeah. Remember, here I have marked it, so you're going to cut it this way. So this will represent your sleeves, and then just cut out. So this is my excess here. Trust me, there is no fabric that is a waste. This is probably just going to be me joining it to the sleeves to make it longer or make using it as a belt, but definitely this is going to become useful. So now you see this is my body. Like I said, this is how I want it because I'm not a big person, so it's fine. It's not going to be too big for me. But if you want it looser, you can take it out like that. But because African fabrics, as they've got like a bit of a thickness to them, even though some of them are cotton, some of them have got thickness to them. This is 100% cotton. However, because it's been printed on, it's got a bit of thickness to them. That's why I don't want it to make it too big, so it doesn't look too big on me. So now we've opened it up that way. So now we need to work out our neck measurement. So I need to measure the neck. So my neck measurement, I'm going to use 4. It's usually the standard that I use. If you don't want your neck measurement to be too deep or too wild, you can use 5. But I use 4. Then it's still gonna be bigger than 4 unfold. Remember, 4 is unfold. This fabric is unfold, which means by the time you open it, it will be 8 in total. And then by the time you cut out you create your curve and all of that, it would reduce. Now, because it's a jacket, it doesn't have to be curvy. So I'm gonna make it V. That way, when I wear my jacket, my turtleneck, because I love turtlenecks a lot, it's gonna just look nice, basically. So I'm not gonna curve it. I'm just gonna make a V neck. You see, this is 4, and this is 5.5. You can make it looser if you want. You can make it deeper, rather. You can make your V deeper if that's what you want. But I want my V not to be too deep. That's fine. So I'm happy with that. So I'm just gonna cut it this way. And then I am going to split this into 2. Remember, it is a loose jacket. Now, the reason why I have not, usually if I'm going to be using part of this fabric, if I'm going to be using part of this measurement to fold in front, just to make it neat, I would have made an adjustment for it. I've made allowance for it, which is by adding 2 inches to the length of it. So that's where I'll be folding to create the edge of my jacket. But I am not using part of the fabric yet. I'm going to create another fabric. It could be plain material. I've not decided that yet. It could be a plain fabric that I'm going to use as the neck, basically. And I want to use about 2 inches, so it's a bit thick. So that will also add to the body measurement as well. So I'm going to be using like a band, like a 2 inches band, to join to the edge of my jacket, just to make it look nicer, really. So I'm not using part of my measurement right here. So that would be done differently. That's why I didn't show you guys that. So just in case you're wondering. And because it's a jacket as well, remember, we have to always slant here a little bit, even if it's just by 1/2 inch. So that way, just 1/2 inch. You're not doing so much, just slant it a little bit. 1/2 inch. That way, when you're joining it, it slides like that, because our shoulders are not straight. Our shoulders got a little bit of curve to it. Well, not curve, like a slant to it. So I've just a little bit, just to slant it a little bit, and then separate this. I'm just going to split that into 2. So welcome back. Now you need to join the back of the jacket to the front. So this is one side of the jacket. You make sure that you're joining the right piece to the left. So this is my left. I marked it so I can see, because the fabric is so identical to the wrong side as well, so you might make a mistake. So you join the sleeves from the sleeves to the neck. This is it. You pin it to secure it. So you pin it to secure one side of the sleeves. What the fuck did you do? You don't worry about that, okay? I
just need you to be ready to outlaw me up just in case.
Like when you round my strip club.
Okay, so I've secured one side of the body to. So you secure one side, and then I'll do the second other side.
What are you talking about?
That bud, one that got you tortured, he done fucking with you, girl.
Tell me you didn't kill a fucking did you?
So I've secured one side to this side, and then I'm doing the second side for this. So this is the second side of my front. So you secure it, and pin it down. Okay, and then so I've secured that. So what I'm going to do first is, this is the sleeves and the shoulder. So you stitch it that way, okay, and then you stitch the second side this way. Now remember, this is the neck of my back, and this is the neck of my front, okay, and these are each sides of the front. So I'm going to join these sleeves now. And then you do the same, see, so that's stitched, and then you do the same for the other side of the sleeves, which is right here, which is here. Okay, so I've joined my shoulder and sleeves together, you see that? So I've joined them now. So what you need to then do is join the body. So you see, this is the sleeves that I've joined. You see, the sleeves plus the shoulder, I've joined them together. So what you then need to do is, you see this is the ham. So you now have to join the side, which is here. So you would start from here, So what you first do is you secure it by using a pin. Pin everything down. Secure it, just to make sure that it doesn't shift. Okay. So you secure that all the way down. Use your pin to secure everything. Secure this both sides, so you secure this side and the other side. That way when you've pinned everything down, it will be easy for you to just stitch the sides together, okay? All right, so when you've when you've secured it, so what you do then is you join it. So you start joining from the sleeves all the way down, okay? So if you want a pocket for your jacket, you have to create a pocket space for that. However, I'll be taking you through that in my other video where I'll be making jackets with pockets. But this one is just a straight down loose jacket with no side pockets. So you join one side of the jacket. So you go ahead, pin the second side down, and you then stitch. So once you've joined the sides together, so this is my sides, my front sides, and that's the back right there. So you've got one piece. So the next thing I want to get out of the way is to fold my sleeves and the bottom jacket. So right here, because I didn't cut this edge, so it's quite neat, I'm just going to do a fold. So I'm just going to fold one piece inside. I will pin it down just to secure that, and I'll do the same for the second sleeves. Now you can be flexible with how much allowance you want to put inside. So I'm only literally doing like half an inch, basically because I don't want to have I don't want my sleeve to be too short. So this is my sleeve, and I'm just going to fold it in a little. But if you want to fold yours in more, you can do 2 folds right here. You can fold it again, or you can make it thicker, however you want it to be. I always say this: you can never get it wrong with fashion. Except if you're working with a particular design that you want. So let's say you've got a sketch of what you want, really, you can then follow everything to a letter. But if you're doing just something for yourself, just to show you how creative you can be, you can always be flexible with things. So I am just going to make one fold of that, because here is quite neat as well. So I'm just going to make one fold, and I'm going to stitch over it round. Before I stitch as well, I have to pin everything down just to make sure that it's all nice and secured. And once I've done that, I will fold the second sleeve as well. I would fold it, secure it, and then stitch my second sleeves.
Your gratitude. You have that.
So I've secured that right here. So I've secured my sleeves right there, and then I'm going to do the same for the second sleeve. So when I stitch over it, I'm going to have a neat straight sleeve edge. Yeah, and I will do the same for the second sleeves. So I have secured this with the pin right here. So I am now going to stitch around this, around my sleeves. Okay. Okay, so I've stitched that. I'm going to do the other sleeves the same way, and then we will fold the back. So after you've joined the body together, what I've done now is I've created a band to for my hemming, my front jacket. So what I've done is I cut out 5 inches. This is 5 inches. So what I did was I went and pressed it. I pressed half of it. So now I folded half an inch inside. Okay, half an inch inside. So what you then do is when you press it, you press half an inch inside, and you fold it into two and press it. So that's it, neatly pressed. So once you've done that, you see this is the other side of my jacket. Okay, you stitch first. You see the other side where you didn't press. So this side that you didn't press, I didn't press this side, I pressed this side. You're going to stitch it from inside outwards. So you see how this is stitched. So it's from inside. You see, this is the right other side of the jacket. Inside, you stitch. So you open it up like this, then you stitch from the wrong side. So you stitch it from the wrong side, stitch it all the way around. Before you start stitching, make sure that you secure your fabric with your pin. You secure your fabric with your pin and stitch it round. You open it up like this and then stitch just one side that you haven't folded. Stitch it round, and once you've done that, then we can go ahead and then place this on top of it, and then we will then stitch on top of that like this. Okay, so let's do this first. Let's stitch round, and then we'll come back to then finish off. Yes, so I have stitched one side of the band. Okay, one side of the band, and this is my right side fabric, and this is my other side. So what I did was I stitched it inwards to outwards. Okay, so now this is the extra. Remember, I pressed this place down. So what I'll do is, and you're going to now fold this over the stitch to cover it, just like you're making like a collar, but this time around it's a band. So you would then use this over the stitch here to cover it. Before you start stitching, don't forget, secure it with a pin, just to make sure that you don't have to lose it, because it's quite fragile at this stage, because you want to make sure that everything is neat and straight. Okay, so I am going to use my pin to secure it before I start stitching. See? Yeah, this is now where you're going to stitch, but before we stitch, I am going to make sure that my pin goes round first, and then I will stitch over it.
That's a whole lot. I say 10. Let's see who's right.
So after you've secured the band with the safety pin overlapping the stitch, this is my stitch right there, and then you overlap the other side that you folded. You see, this is the other side that you folded. You see, so once you've secured it, then you turn it over and make sure that your stitch, no matter what you do, make sure that your stitch is not showing, because you want to make sure that is as neat as possible, because this your stitch will be showing on the right side of your fabric, you see, or on the right side of your jacket, right in front of your jacket. So you want to make sure that it overlaps it, and also you want to make sure that your stitch is very near to the edge as much as possible. It's like stitching a collar. You want to make sure that your stitch is neat. You want to make sure that your stitch is very near to the edge of the band as much as possible for a neat finish. So once we've finished that, then we'll see what it looks like. So this is me stitching it over. You have to be gentle. If this is your first time or you're still learning or you're not really sure, you have to take it easy on a slow pace, and this would work out. Okay, so here now I have finished putting the band and then that. The last finishing that you need on this jacket now is ironing it. You need to steam it and press it, and yes, you're good to go. If you're the type that like belts, I love belts on my jackets, my tops. I'm gonna still be making a belt on the side for this jacket, so I could use belt, I can do without it, so that will be done separately. So yeah, that will be the end of our video, and I hope you learned one or two things. If you have questions for me, please feel free to ask. So if you have any question at all for me regarding, if there's anything you're bothered about, if there's anything you're unsure on how to do it, if you have any questions at all, please feel free. We are all learning together here, so that's fine. Ask me any questions in the comment below, and I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, share my video, and I'll see you next time.
When the bed do they enter.